All right, here we are. Welcome to live stream Win the Day, where realtors talk about how to win each and every day, such that you can string weeks, months, and years together and have a massive career. That's what I want to do.
The Beach Blizzard edition.
Beach Blizzard 2025. If you didn't know, I think they got snow in Houston. I think they got snow, legitimate snow that's stuck and sat on the ground in New Orleans, Pensacola, Destin, Florida.
No snow here.
No snow in Scottsdale. They did get some in Tallahassee. I haven't had a recent check. I don't think it made it as far as Jacksonville. Snow in Atlanta, Georgia. My wife is up there.
We do have a freeze warning. We're at 34 degrees right now.
What does that say? YouTube something?
Yeah, hey, it's the YouTube Win the Day notice. Make sure that you go over to YouTube, subscribe, hit the bell so every time we go live, you're notified.
There you go. So here, let's talk about what's going on. I'll tell you what's going on in my life because that's what I seem to know more about. Even though I'll tell you about your life. Let's talk about mine.
Let's talk about me.
So we're what, 3 weeks into January. I'm already starting to feel a pull, a drag. Oh, geez, here we go. Wearing down, which is interesting. It's like at the starting line, I'm tired. I was thinking to myself this morning, actually, as I got out of bed, like, I could sure use some luck. It seems like we've been faced into the wind for a while here and whatnot. I could really use some luck. That's what I needed, some luck. And I was almost feeling sorry for myself in that kind of thing. But because I'm well-trained, I don't take credit for that. I take credit for being able to be trained, but I'm well-trained. I've had great coaches for a long, long time, and I listen to what they say. So that I wish I could get some luck or something like that soon change to, I'm glad I have an opportunity to put myself in a position where I can be lucky. Because here's the thing, folks, luck ain't just for the lucky. It's for the folks that put themselves in positions to be lucky. You don't show up, it's really hard to win. And if you show up and do more work, it's really interesting how much lucky you seem to get. So I won't sugarcoat it. We're in real estate sales. You got to get out and you got to talk to people. You got to say, hi, my name is. Tell me a little bit about your goals. What are your plans for real estate in the next 12 months? If you were to sell, where would you go next? When would that be? All those conversations need to happen. And the more of those conversations you have, the luckier you get. So I'm getting out of bed wishing I was luckier, and then that soon moved to, boy, I'm glad I can get in there and go talk to people today. Then the other thought that occurred to me was this. I wonder how many people are out there wishing for some luck today. Man, I could use some luck. I got to get my house sold. I don't even know who to hire. I don't know where to go. I don't know the process. I don't want to have to go online. Oh, God, how do I even sell my place? Ding dong. Hey, it's your local real estate agent. Oh, my God. How did you know, right? Days like this, mindsets like this is when you become someone else's luck. What luck is that? So you either go at this right or you don't go at it, or you go at it halfway. And if you're only doing it halfway, then go at it. The fact that you're here now, you're listening to this now, whenever you're listening to this, tells me you're lucky enough, because now you know. You can't say you didn't know because we just talked about it. Now you know. All you got to do to increase your luck is to show up, right? The lottery's been telling us you can't win if you don't buy a ticket, right? It's still a long shot. Somebody's got to win. It's different because there's plenty of people that are buying and selling real estate in your market today, yesterday. If you don't believe me, go on your hot sheet or whatever version of hot sheet you got and see if anybody went under contract, anybody listed, anybody closed. Yes is the answer to all that. All right. Then the question is, did they list with you or use you as a buyer agent? If the answer is no, then the next question is, why not? Did they know you were out there? Almost always the answer is no, right? Can we be honest? If we're talking to somebody about listing or working as a buyer, is it fairly rare that they go to somebody else, right? I'll ask you, Destiny, do you lose deals to people? Sometimes. How often? I mean, really, honestly, somebody tells you they want to sell and they're And then what? It goes like this. I'm interviewing 14 agents. Give me your best shot. Does it go that way?
No, it happens when we're talking about commission, and then another realtor comes in behind me that
How
offers
often? Literally, how often?
twice.
And how many appointments have you ever been on?
Total, I couldn't count how many I've been on total.
More than 2?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So how about you, Julie? Do you lose out to other realtors?
Not usually.
Now, when you're in a conversation with a legitimate buyer or seller, they say, I really like you, but I'm going to use somebody else. How often does that happen?
I've had them say that, and then I expect that to happen. This was.
But let me ask you, is it a regular thing, or is it?
I usually win them over when they already have a realtor.
There you go. My point is this, you guys. The best of us, the just beginners or whatever, the way real estate works is buyers and sellers generally work with who's in front of them. It's a timing thing. Once in a while, they'll say, I'm interviewing 3 agents. I'm going to choose the best one. And you go through a process. Absolutely, that is true. But it's more rare than common. All right? Let's just put that out there. So the good news is you just got to make sure you're in the right place at the right time when somebody decides they want to buy or sell. Because if that is the case, you may not have ever sold a place. You may have never done anything, and they'll just choose you because you were in the right place at the right time. And if that wasn't the case, the same agents would get the business over and over and over and over again, and yet they don't. The reason why most agents get the business they get is because they're in front of more people more often, so they have more top of mind. Your job is to break that.
There's 2 points to this. Be the person who's there in front of them when they need you, but also
that's opportunity knocking.
If you're also following up with your database, you're also getting the people in the rearview mirror. So it's very simple to stay in touch with your database. That's the easy part. Once you have somebody in your database, once you've sold someone and you've demonstrated your value, all you need to do now is stay in touch with them. So you shouldn't lose those. We've all done it, but you shouldn't if you're doing a good job of staying in touch. So it's 2-pronged. And I love this topic, John, because my first year in the business, I earned the nickname Lucky.
Yeah.
I was really offended by that when I first started being called Lucky. It just really bugged the crap out of me. But the reality is luck is preparation meeting opportunity. Yes. I was prepared and I was chasing it down, and I was calling people and I was getting appointments and I was showing homes, and then I got lucky. Interesting.
Yep. More homes you showed, the more people you talked to, the more lucky you got. Amazing.
Yep. I got really lucky.
And then we start thinking we don't need luck because we're so good. We start getting our confidence. What was that, Mark?
Well, I'm here in Northeast Louisiana and meeting with a friend, and in his brokerage, he's got 5-6 agents doing 60, 70, 80 plus deals a year. And his middle of the road are doing 30 to 40. And I like modeling, and I'm like, what is the common thread? And as we were thinking through, and I asked several of the leaders, they said, willingness to act, just stay in that act. And it's not anything crazy. I mean, I look at them, they're wonderful people, but the common theme throughout is they go and work every day. They show up, work, and outwork others. And if you're willing to
your
work,
point, Mark, don't wait for people to call you back.
Yeah.
Willingness to act. You initiate the phone call. Don't be worried about, don't be out thinking yourself. I'm bugging them. I'm this. No, bug them. Get lucky. Get after it.
Destiny, is your business, the business that you've got, from people that knew you before?
Some. A lot of it comes from circle dialing, and then I would say another 50% comes from people that I already know in my sphere.
So half of the people you know have worked with you.
Right.
So you either know very few or very many people, right? Just because of the way it is. At some point, you're going to run out of people you know. Mm-hmm. Fair to say?
Fair to
and
say.
If half of them have already bought places, your future is from those folks, right? The people you know. You're going to have to go find people you don't know. Fair?
Right. Fair.
Okay.
Well, and the reality is when you start off as a new agent.
Welcome, Bianca. Sorry, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, the people that know you, they're not just going to immediately say, "Oh, use me," because they know you're new. You've got to be willing to act for those that know you after about 6 months to a year to begin to say, hey, you're doing this, then they start trusting you. You got to get after it.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is different. Hold on, Destiny. We'll come back to you in a second here. I don't know if this is different or not for y'all, but my experience is this: taking listings, and that's all I mostly have done. Maybe 2 buyers my whole 20-year career, and I'm one of them. Most of the time, I ask them if they want to sell. It's either yes or no, and whatever. Very rare do I get, well, how many properties have you sold? What is the system you use? And that is a thing we make up in our own minds to give ourselves validity and whatever value. I'm calling BS on that. The biggest, hardest part is just getting to somebody and asking them, when do you plan on moving? What's your plans for the next 12 months? Because then they're going to say, oh, I can't believe you called. I am looking to sell. Yes, send me some stuff. And if you send them stuff or you ask the questions, you're in. You're in. It's not like I have a list of 8. Because here's the deal, people. Most people, not all people, and you might be the one person who run into first 5 people you meet are going to interview 17 people and put you through your paces. That is not ordinary. All right. Most people don't want confrontation. They're confrontation adverse. So they don't want to, I got to hire somebody. If I interview people, that means I got to tell other people, no, I don't want to do it. I'll hire you. You came to me. Yes. Yes. Yes.
You'll do.
You're in.
First. You'll do.
Please do a good job. Oh, dear Lord, do a good job. And even if you don't, please. That is almost always the case, people. Get out of your own head. You're your worst enemy. Just make sure you're talking to enough people. And then when the one person says, I have 4 realtors, I'm going to interview them all based on these criteria. I have a spreadsheet, whatever, blah, blah, blah. All right. That is insanely rare. The common is, thank God you called. Thank God you knocked. Thank God I ran into you. You're hired. Well, let me tell you a little bit about me. No. Where's the paperwork? Right? Matter of fact, when they say, I want to hire you, zip it, close it. Don't say another word. Okay?
Well, that's like to John's point. John says, in the beginning, I got more business from strangers than friends. I think that's almost everybody's
100%.
experience.
I don't even go after my friends. I don't want them wondering, how come you're at the ball game and not selling my house?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We like the strangers better because they don't know.
Yeah, there's
and the
no
reality
expectation.
is every time you get a listing opportunity or a buyer's opportunity, but it's usually listing opportunities where they say, I'm interviewing multiple realtors. Don't be intimidated. Go, good. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to get my ass handed to me. Sorry. I am going to get, and you know what? Learn. Go and then ask.
I'm telling you, it is rare. They'll tell you that. Oh, yeah, I'm interviewing realtors for sure. Who are you interviewing? Right? They'll tell you all the time because nobody wants to say, yeah, you're my only chance at this. They're not going to tell you that. Oh, we're going to interview 10. I hear it all the time. Yeah, I have a realtor. Great. Just curious, who is it? Yeah, if they're going with the they don't. Right?
The moment they hesitate, they don't have a realtor.
They don't. They'll tell you that, right? It's like me. Go ask your mom.
Yeah.
Well, mom said I could. Oh, all right. Destiny, what were you going to say?
I was going to say it's easy for a newer agent to start, but to stay in it is the hard part because you're getting told no constantly, and it messes with your mental space and everything else. And so for me, calling a neighborhood at least 4 times a year, maybe even 5, getting that name recognition, that's huge for me. I love calling Holly by the Sea. They know me by name now when I call, We have a realtor here. I talk to her husband all the time, and he's like, hey, you're doing your job. I appreciate it. But it's staying in there. And even when you're being told no and getting those doors closed, keep going after it until they tell you to leave them alone.
I think I went to school with Holly by the Sea.
What? Say that again.
I think I went to school with Holly by the Sea.
We all missed it.
Hey, let me tell you guys one more thing here. I think the reason why new people, and this was the same for me, got a lot of business is because when you're new, you have no resume to talk about. So you're more interested in asking about the buyers and the sellers because What are you going to say about yourself? And then as you start to get some success, your ego starts to show up, and pretty soon your ego's leading the charge. Hey, I'm ranked this, I did that, blah, 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 blah. And the last person you ask about is the buyer and the seller. And all of a sudden, that's where it goes south. What were you going to say,
to Destiny's point, she talks about calling a neighborhood. Okay, this is where she's farming. Here's the thing. They're not saying no to you, Destiny. They're saying, no, I'm not ready to sell right now. Everybody you call isn't ready to buy or sell right
now. The timing's wrong.
They're not saying, no to you. And that's the thing you have to get in your head, when you're calling people. It's not that they don't like you. It's that they're not ready to do something right now. If you keep following up, like Destiny said, they're like, oh yeah, we know you're doing your job. Thanks for calling, blah, blah. They're going to remember you. You're after it. And when you're after it, they know you're going to get after it when they're ready to buy or sell.
Yeah.
I've got it on pretty good authority that very few people have an aspiration of being homeless. It's just, I'm not ready to move yet. And the key is most people, they move on a dime. And what I mean by that is something happens in life, whether job transfer, relationship change, health, grandkid, what have you. And all of a sudden they go, it's time. And most people don't have it planned out to 5 years from now. That's what they're thinking, but life changes on a dime.
Yeah.
But what they do is keep a file of that when they bought the house.
Yeah.
They have all the closing stuff. It's in a safe. It's in a wherever. It's buried under the bed, wherever. And in that file is a business card, probably paper clipped with some real estate agent's name on it. That's who they go to, unless you get in the middle of that.
Mm-hmm. So Destiny's doing. She gets in the middle of it 4 or 5 times a year. And then when they're ready to sell, like, we haven't heard from our realtor and we've been here for 17 years. We're calling Destiny.
Exactly right. Here's the other thing people do. I happen to know this from a lot of years of experience. Julie, tell me if you know different. When you send something in the mail, just sold a card, a freaking letter, whatever. If you're not selling, and you have any idea of selling, a lot of times that goes straight to the garbage. But if you're thinking, you know what, next year I might sell, which is rare because people make these split decisions. But when they start thinking next month, next year, that's why we see a lot of January, July, January 1, July 1, because they fall on these certain times where you retire and whatever, all this stuff. But what they start doing is they take those cards and they put them in a file. And then when it's time to sell in 3 weeks, 3 months, they go open up this file and see who is sent them stuff. And that's how they're going to choose. And if your card, your postcard, your letter, your whatever is in there 5 and 6 times and somebody else is in there once, you win. So that's where the direct mail.
And to that point, John, I would say if you don't already have a relationship with people, they're not someone you know, don't send letters where they have to open the envelope. Send postcards with information about their neighborhood, about their house, about what has sold. It has to be something that they care about, that they can see, because in the 11 seconds between when they're sorting through the pieces of mail and it goes to the garbage, there has to be an impression that's made, and it has to grab their attention that I care about reading this thing. And your logo has to be the same, your picture on there. If you don't have an established logo, which most of us don't, your picture, because that's your logo. And then when you show up, you knock and you meet them, that's a 4th or 5th impression, not the first impression.
For God's sake, put your name, Destiny Powell, Julie Morris, John Moran.
Phone number.
Put your name on it, right? Put your name. I don't even care if you put anything else. Put your name. Because when you call them, you say, hey, it's Destiny Powell. It's Mark Simpson. It's Julie Morris. They got to tie it to something. If you're sending all this shit to them, but you don't put your name on it, it doesn't tie you to it. Yeah, it's Destiny Powell. Remember, I'm the one who's sending you all those postcards with the pretty pictures and the whatever. No. You got to say Destiny Powell, and they quickly, wait, I see your name all over the place. They see your sign, Destiny Powell. They see the open house, Destiny Powell. Card, Destiny Powell.
Yep.
You got to put your name on there. So, I mean, rarely do you call, hey, I'm the one with the postcards, and at the very
name and face. I would say name and face. People look at pictures and images before they read things. So that's why I always say, put your face on there.
That tip will make you millions.
Your open house signs, on your postcards, on your everything. Put your face on it. I always get people ask, should I put my face on my business card? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I heard
Don't
recently of a team.
What's that, Mark?
Well, I heard of a team, and he said, look, it stays. Is you know how people give SEC or football schedules? He goes, no. We do kitchen conversion tables.
Well, there you go.
He said those don't leave the refrigerator, and it's like, that's brilliant. Yeah.
I'm telling you, get your name on everything. Your name. Because when you talk to them on the phone or you meet them in person, you want to tie that mentally together.
As many things as you can. Your name, your logo, your face, whatever is going to get that person's attention, whether they're analytical, whether they're visual, something, they're going to look at it. And you've got between 11 and 30 seconds to get that impression. It may be subconscious, but every time it's building.
By law, you got to have your brokerage on there, but you better get your goddamn name on there.
That can be small, but your name and your
So many people don't do it.
Yeah.
Right? They don't do it. And then the brokerage gets the credit and whatever. But how many agents are at Keller Williams right now, Mark? Do you know?
300-ish.
300. So if you're putting Keller Williams Realty Emerald Coast, you're one of 300. You're one of everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Put your name on it.
And even down to, I mean, the fact is on the Emerald Coast, there's about 4,000 or 5,000 realtors. So that if you tell somebody you're a realtor, they go, you and 5,000 other people.
Put your name on it.
So you've got to differentiate.
Yeah, no matter where you are, there's usually a higher percentage of saturation of realtors, whatever your population.
Yeah.
So
it's name recognition. You get that, you win.
And there's
I don't know why I know your name, but I know your name. And then when you meet them, hi, I'm John Moran. Oh, I know that name.
There's a good thing with the brand in that people, when they recognize a brand, generally that's positive because they're like, oh, you're all around. And you get the credit of the recognition of the brand. But that needs to be smaller, and your name and face needs to be larger because you have to differentiate yourself. My brand, my company, the office I manage, we have almost 900 agents. Our company, HomeSmart here in Phoenix, 7,200 agents. So
here's a test.
Phoenix Metro, 62,000 agents. I can't rely on the brand.
Here's a test. Go look and see how many followers there are at Tesla, and then go look and see how many there are of Elon Musk. Elon Musk, 20 times the number of Tesla followers.
Yeah.
Get that name recognition, people. All right, there you go. Julie, last words? Hey, tell us about tomorrow. Who we got coming tomorrow? Give us a little preview. We got a good thing tomorrow.
We've got Christine Macho coming tomorrow. So Christine is going to talk to you about relationship marketing, which a lot of people really prefer that. There's a lot of ways to generate leads. But relationship marketing is how to find ways to reach out to everybody you know, your sphere of influence, close or far, so that they engage with you and know what you do in a fun way. So she's
got this lottery system thing she's doing.
Yep. So she's going to tell how to do that and how to be successful at it and get everyone to come to you versus you run into them.
So cool. Destiny, what do you got?
Just stay in it. Even when the door's closed, stay in it. When you think they're telling you no, they're not telling you no. Stay in it. Keep going. Keep calling.
Make yourself lucky.
Mark?
Hey, get into action with your real estate business. Get into action. Go over to YouTube, smash the subscribe button, like, share, ring the bell. Make sure you get notifications. We're here to help every day.
Love it. If you all take anything, one thing from this, get your name out there. Because you introduce yourself. Hi, this is John Moran, Keller Williams Realty is at the beach team. When they get a postcard, better say John Moran, Keller Williams Realty is at the beach team. When they see a sign out there, better say John Moran, Keller Williams Realty is at the beach team. Because when it all ties together, they hear John Moran. Oh.
And suddenly you get lucky.
Yeah, and all of a sudden
you'll make yourself get lucky.
Yeah.
I'm going to change my name to Lucky Morris. See y'all tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye.